I've always wanted to know what their favorite foods were. Oh, hey there. I didn't see ya. I was just reading the newest issue of 16 Scoop. But anyway, now that you're here, grab your favorite can of soda. Crack it open, and let's talk about the time that John and Paul got completely wasted in Austria and did a one-off gig.
Okay, so let's take a trip back to March 1965. The Beatles are currently in Austria filming their second movie, Help. Specifically in Obertauern, which is sort of a picturesque, really nice ski resort. So as fans know, many of the movie scenes were filmed here, and until today, this area is not shy about their Beatles connection. Hey, actually that looks pretty good. Oh God!
Look what you've done.
On March 18th, the Beatles filmed a bunch of scenes for Help, including this famous snowman ski jump bit, as well as the marching band scene. That same night, which was a Thursday, the band heads down to a beer cellar lounge at the Marietta Hotel, where the film crew was staying, for a birthday party for Help's assistant director, Clive Reed. After many bottles had been opened, John and Paul went and joined the house band on stage, a group named Jackie and the Strangers, and they happened to know Jackie Spelter from their early years back in Germany. The story goes that John and Paul were invited on stage to take part in an impromptu jam session. I think it goes without saying that they were probably completely wasted at this point. Strangely, George and Ringo do not appear in any of these photos. However, Dick Lester, the director of the movie, says on the Help DVD special features that Paul hopped on drums and then George and John took turns on guitar, and he actually says he played piano with the group, all until around 3 o'clock in the morning. At least in the photos that we do have, John borrowed Jenny, which was Spelter's Fender Jazzmaster, and I do have to admit, it is pretty cool to see Lennon playing a Jazzmaster. Paul, on the other hand, went for drums, which seems to confirm Lester's account. As many Beatles fans will know, Paul is actually a pretty decent drummer, not on Ringo's level of course, but still. Apparently Lennon turned up the volume really loud on his amp, and after a while the manager came down and told them the gig was over. It's also been reported that the manager remarked that he paid for a show by Jackie Spelter, not the Beatles, which would also sort of imply that the whole band was in attendance. A few years back, these original negatives popped up at auction from photographer Henry Grossman, who also recounts the event. He only mentions that John and Paul, quote, full of beer, playing their favorite rock and roll tunes. He even wrote that it must have been like seeing them in Hamburg before they became world famous. As Grossman says, it was the highlight of our stay in Austria.
Hey, Nick. Nick? What's wrong?
Why did you let me drink so much soda?